Okay,
We're live.
we are on air. Hello. Let me try that again.
Yeah, your camera's there. Yeah, is that awkward?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. This is Dominic Fuentes at Media Quest. We are coming to you live, and we are serving you something exciting here. We have a brand new editor, and here to tell you more about it is both Cody Williams and Albert Fuentes. Let's cut over to them.
Well, there's a lot more to it than the announcing of an editor. This is just a bunch of parts.
Yeah. We have a new editor in theory. So,
And I was counting. This will be the sixth editor that we've built. Well, some of them actually the first one I bought already made.
that was the Matrix.
The very first Matrix DigiSuite in 1999.
Yeah. I remember that. That was a huge, that took up a wall
Yeah. Yeah.
for all the racks. And
Yeah, and it also ran the old school videotape recorders. We were using beta at the time.
Videotape.
Videotape.
Can you expand on that?
We have to go to a sample picture of that later
Yeah.
so people remember. So this is going to be our sixth build, and what we do is we decide on all the components we're going to use to get a build, and these components we decided on for what particular reason that we decide on these components.
So, yeah, we looked through a lot, did a lot of research over the course of, I guess, a couple of weeks before we finally pulled the trigger. Well,
Well,
really,
we've been planning this for like 6 months, but
Right.
just waiting for the right time.
yeah, exactly. And also kind of in the back of our heads, I think we were hoping for graphics cards to go down
The
a
price
little
of
bit.
graphic cards go down.
But-
It's kind of like wood prices today. I've been holding off on a fence build because of the price of wood right
Yeah.
now. So the same thing in the graphics world. Why are graphics cards so high?
Bitcoin
Bitcoin.
or crypto.
Yeah.
Or the latest obsession is NFTs, which is crypto art. So people will, create art, and you can claim ownership of the JPEG or the PNG, and because you have the code that says I own this, then people can copy it. But the valuable thing is the ownership. So
Owning a digital product, and it's crazy because these things have sold for, well, I'm guessing hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not more.
millions, I believe.
Was
like
the highest one? Yeah.
yeah, there's a 3D artist called Beeple. Yeah, Beeple, who sold a. He's famous for doing one-a-days, which are he will do a 3D image once every day, and he has done it for over 12 years now without taking a single day off.
Wow.
Yeah, and so he sold one for, if I'm not mistaken, millions of dollars. Just at the start of the latest NFT craze,
Wow.
this year. Yeah. So anyway, so the reason that's related to graphics card is because NFTs and crypto requires a lot of number crunching, and apparently graphics cards are a critical part of that.
Right.
So all that to say is graphics cards right now are probably almost, 50%, twice as much more than they should be.
And it's the last item to come in because we've waited and waited on the graphics card. We knew it was going to take time. We knew it was going to be tough to find. In fact, we had an incident happen when we were putting this all together. We noticed when items would arrive, we'd get a notification that they've arrived, they've been delivered. And so what happened was the graphics card arrived, or at least the app said that it was delivered, but we didn't get it. And so we started doing research. It ended up where? Rhode Island?
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
North Dakota. One of those.
Yeah, it was delivered there.
In something.
And so we were like, oh no, we were planning this build and it was going to throw us off. So we started contacting the seller and trying to communicate. The people who we bought it from, they outsourced some of the products. So so we got in contact with the original distributor. Had they told us, no, we did deliver it to the right place.
Yeah.
And we're like, no, you didn't, because we don't have it, and our order says it's delivered. So they had to figure it out, and what they realized was that their tracking number was backwards with the people from Rhode Island
Yeah.
or New Hampshire.
Yeah. They had ordered it apparently at the exact same time.
Yeah.
And so they just swapped the labels, but the addresses were right. So
so
it should be here very soon.
Yeah. So that's the last thing we need. So we're going to get started on this build, and we want to put it together live. We're going to actually put this computer together live. Here's our case, our motherboard, our power supply,
Right.
our processor,
Right.
and we went with
AMD.
and this is the Ryzen, the 5000 series,
Right.
and
The Ryzen
16
9,
core.
Yeah.
Right now we're editing on a
12?
8 core. 8 core.
Wow. Yeah.
And so we're doubling our speed. So we're really excited about this.
Right.
And this is the cooler. This is a water cooled for the processor. We have our drives here and our RAM here.
Yeah.
Going 64 gigs RAM.
And we'll get into the specifics of each of those as we go on. Everything on this table was picked with a purpose.
Yeah.
And was chewed on and debated over for at least a couple weeks. And so everything here, we are certain that it's going to be compatible as long as some of the stuff we haven't opened up all the way. So
in fact, one thing, remember this thing, we were checking things out, and this right here came in. This came in, and we noticed, when I picked it up first time, I heard that. And I thought, okay, something's not right.
that's the sound of quality.
It's, look at here. Look at here.
Hey.
Look at here. We got something.
Nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It looks like it has some kind of language written on
Yeah,
there.
some kind of language, which is not always going to happen.
We know that was shipped from Hong Kong.
Yeah. we do.
So this thing came in. We had to get a different one because when we opened it up, we noticed that it was already used.
Right. Yeah.
Missing parts. There's no fans in here.
So this part right here is the pump that actually pushes the water in and out through the radiator, which you'll get a better look at in a bit. But so this is the pump, and this is what actually makes direct contact with the top of the processor, because the processor gets very hot.
Yeah.
And so they all need coolers. A lot of the time, people will just do a fan, which just connects and has a little what is it called, a heat sink.
Yeah.
And a fan pushing air through it. So this is.
It runs water. It runs liquid.
Right.
And then it runs through a radiator. We'll show the real one, but we're going to send this one back.
Right.
We went online and found a replacement, and so we got that back in time.
Yeah, thankfully we got the replacement pretty much the next day after we discovered the issue.
So let's get started.
Yeah. Okay.
We can make some room, and we'll start on the
Motherboard?
Motherboard, yeah.
Motherboard.
We should have created a Newegg affiliate link before we started this video
Oh, that's
yeah.
true, huh?
so that we can plug it,
Yeah.
all the products.
If you buy anything on Newegg, tell them MediaQuest sent you.
Yeah.
Yes.
One thing to keep in mind is static. Make sure that you're not rubbing your feet on the carpet.
Yep. So we are not in socks.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get this thing out of here. Motherboard, just close that one.
Okay.
Put it right on top. Okay.
I'm gonna start there.
This is a Asus motherboard. Pretty cool. Show you a close-up. Get a close-up of it right there.
That's going to be delayed. That's not going to give you good information. There you
Yeah.
go. All right. So yeah, that's the 570. It's an ATX form factor motherboard. So what makes this one is very top of the line, right? It's very near top of the line. And so a couple of the things that it has going for it are two M.2 drive bays, which are basically, you're going to have your hard drives, which I've gotten
The
about the size
NVMe.
of NVMe hard drive, which is about the size of a stick of gum. And it's going to be communicating with your processor faster than any other drive.
We should have brought an old drive in here, to show the difference between the old drives and these new drives.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab one actually.
These newer drives are really unique because they're just tiny, like he said, like a stick of gum, and they fit directly on the motherboard. And so it creates a very fast connection, high speed. There's no moving parts, no mechanical parts to this. Basically, what you want to do is keep them cool. And this one right here came with a heat sink, and it's designed to draw some of the heat away from the drive and keep it cool. This one here doesn't have a heat sink, but there's a heat sink on the motherboard that we're going to use. We're installing two. We're installing a 1 terabyte for the system drive, and then a 2 terabyte for a work drive. And then we're installing. Oh, here we go.
Yeah. So that'll give us a good rundown of the last
drives.
20 years of hard drive technology right here.
Yeah. And you know, some people still use these.
Yeah.
They'll throw them in a RAID with a bunch of them, and they're tried and true, but they're slow.
Right.
So for HD, they were okay. But as soon as 4K came around,
Right.
you know, immediately when we got our first 4K camera, I immediately had to buy another computer.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't run.
Can you
Yeah.
hold it up next to the other drive that you were talking about?
Oh yeah, this is going to be the drive. Actually, we need to take this drive out to show the comparison.
Yeah, it's one of the next things we're doing anyway, so might as well. So I'll go ahead and take out the SSD too, because so this is a slightly faster. This one that I'm holding, an SSD, is slightly faster than. Thank you.
That one's going to run about 500 megabits per second.
I think so. I think, or these. I believe it's standard to measure speed on these is in bytes.
Megabytes.
Yeah.
500.
Yeah.
And then this one here is about, I believe this one here is about 1200.
So yeah, that's a gigabyte per second read and write. So that's more than enough.
And here's the difference between this one right here, 1 terabyte, and this one right here is, how big is this thing? This is 74 gigabytes.
74 gigabytes.
Yeah, so this is an old drive because
Yeah.
I remember I had a bunch of these 74 gigabytes in a RAID system.
So this
This was pulled out of a machine 2014.
so this thing right here is 12 times more storage than that drive right there.
Yeah. And there's no moving parts. On here, there's a platter, and then there's an arm that's reading and writing for that platter.
Yeah.
Here, it doesn't have a platter. It's just instant.
So this is the 1 gigabyte, which means that we had plans on this one being basically our system. So that one's going to go on this slot right here.
Okay.
And so this is our one M.2 slot, and this is our other. This one has a more direct pathway to the CPU, so this is going to be marginally faster. Yeah.
And that's where we're putting our system drive.
Right.
Okay.
And
so let's see.
there you go. So that's the heatsink that comes with it, and then we can reuse that.
Did you talk about the mat that you're using there?
It's
For
an
people who don't know?
anti-static mat. And see, right here, there's a little peel off. And this is what will adhere it to the drive itself.
It's got some thermal compound on it.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're going to grab that drive here,
So
and we're going to attach it right here. Push it in, and then it's going to sit down right here. And there should be a screw that we can put in right there. Well, actually, we need to put that riser in so we can screw that down
so that'll be
right here, I believe. I think this is it.
nice.
If not, then it might be in this bag here. Let's hold these out. There's these are for the case. Case. Yeah, it didn't come in the box here.
I'm guessing it's these because it's going to have one for the 2280 size, which is what we
Okay.
have, and
Let's pull this out first. This creates a little riser off of the motherboard, and it will receive the screw that's going to hold this thing in place. So now we're going to insert the drive back in. Now see, perfect.
flushes nicely. Yeah, this is going to be
Tiny.
screws, tiny.
Okay.
Is that catching it?
Yep.
Great,
It's perfect right there.
nice, cool.
And then, I'll tell you what, before we put this thing back on, let's go ahead and put the other drive in,
Okay.
seat the processor.
Okay, so I'm going to open up this one. This one we bought with a heat sink. So, like I was saying earlier, this one, this came with one right here, and so basically these are just made to pull the heat out towards the flowing air that's going to be inside the case.
I'll go ahead and sit this one back in.
Yeah. So this one came with its own Sabrent brand.
So I'm going to pull this little sticker off that gives us there we go.
And what's that piece you have in your hand right now again?
This is a heat sink, and I'm gonna it's gonna basically adhere to the back of this other drive, this drive right here, and what it's designed to do is draw the heat away from it and dissipate it through this little aluminum tray here on top of it. It's called a heat sink.
Okay.
And so it's going to keep that drive from getting too hot. This motherboard is designed for gamers in mind, or people who will be overclocking. And so they've thought of ways to keep things operating under high temperatures.
And so we really never need to overclock
No.
because in the end, the stability that you lose doing that is way more important than any speed that you might gain.
Yeah, and the chance of damaging your machine is high.
Yeah.
Hey,
So,
John,
What's happening?
come on in over here. We're
starting it
actually
up,
live.
man.
We're live right now. We're doing a live stream, and we're doing a live stream about this build. And so we're putting together the new editor.
Dom, can we get a little
Live.
room sound for John, channel 3?
So
Oh,
our
yeah.
audience is over here.
Cool.
Give me a mic check,
So-
John.
This is
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Are we hearing John?
we have a boom going on.
I think their mics are going to pick you up all right.
Yeah. This is very sensitive. We have it on an anti-static thing here so that we don't cause any damage to it.
In terms of shorting anything out.
Yeah. This is our motherboard. We just installed the first hard drive underneath this heatsink. We're fixing to install the second hard drive.
That's right.
How many hard drives will it have?
3.
3, yeah.
3. Eventually, we have room for more. In fact, the case that we
Yeah.
have has room for up to 6, although I seriously doubt we'll ever use all those. Because if we get up to that many, then we'll probably be looking at a different solution.
Do I need to put a riser in on this?
information.
I believe so.
Yeah, is it going to be this one right here?
It doesn't indicate here's the drive, so you can check.
Yeah.
You can't eyeball.
Man, that
80
stuff's getting
meters.
smaller and smaller.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, so
Yeah,
was
that's it
for
right
this one
there.
out.
Okay. Well, that's a tiny little.
Yeah, that's 2 terabytes, this one. And so this one will be basically the work drive. So we'll be pulling 4K video anytime we're working on a big project. It will all be on this guy right here, with backups, of course.
See, we were showing the difference between, this is a hard drive, 2 terabyte. This is a 740 gigabyte hard drive.
That's what I mean by smaller.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Right.
I mean, I don't know what the percentage is, but it's got to be
And the speed is crazy different.
like 5% of the size of that or something.
Yeah, and
There we go. Now for the heatsink.
10 times faster, 10 times
Yeah,
more storage. Did you say 740 or 74?
74 gigabytes.
74, yeah.
Yeah,
So-
74 gigabytes.
Okay, so this
You're
one
a terabyte,
has
2
another little
terabytes.
sticker on there.
Okay.
The,
When it comes to speed with your hard drive, that's all about just loading the file once you select it.
yeah, actually, so when you're working in editing software, and it looks like there's some extra parts in here. We haven't looked too closely at this.
I was thinking about that because there must be a bracket. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Hold that down,
Yeah.
cover it.
So yeah, when you're editing, so when you're working on, say, graphic design in Photoshop or something, you just pull that file from storage, either be it on our cloud server like we have, or from your hard drive. Pull that. You basically load it into your RAM, and that's enough to work on it. But when you work with video, there's no way with all the source files you have when you're dealing with hundreds of gigabytes of source file, you can't. So you're constantly reading the hard drive for the data. So hard drive speed is
It just takes
critical.
a lot longer for everything to load.
Right. Yeah. So a lot of the time we use a proxy workflow, and we still might just because it's not always about.
Proxies are, you have say for instance, you have a video clip that's a minute long. And let's say for instance, it's 10 gigabytes. And so what you're able to do is, because let's say it's 4K and it's 10 gigabytes, and the computer, when you scrub along, it's choppy. It's not giving you a smooth
Right,
awareness.
I know what you're talking about.
So what you do is you create a proxy, and what the computer does, it gives you the same file but in like 720, like a
Lot
much
lower
smaller,
resolution.
maybe a 1 gig instead of 10 gigs, and then when you play it on the editor, it plays back flawlessly smooth, and you do all your editing like that. When you're finished and
You
you're
gotta
ready to
convert it
render
back
it,
up.
you don't even have to convert it back up. The computer knows what you're doing, and when it renders, it will render the original files.
Right. And
Wow, that saves a lot of time.
and not to get overly technical as well, but sometimes the proxy will, the way your editor reads a file can affect how it plays it back. So you can have a file as one, you can have a file and a proxy that are close to the exact same size, but the way that it's encoded makes it easier for the software to read it frame by frame. So, for instance, when we deliver a video, it's going to be compressed in something like H.264 or H.265 codecs, which are great for keeping a compact file on, say, YouTube or something like that, because it will take every 3 frames and it'll kind of blend the data, the color data in between them together. So every 3 frames, they're sharing some of the data. And so that's great for storing a file, but when you're like editing something and you're scrubbing through in the video edit, what you can be dealing with is your editor trying to keep up with this, trying to unpack the data with every single frame, of which there are going to be millions of frames in a project.
Right.
So, so the proxies work in 2 ways. One, they just separate each frame into individuals, so it's much easier, faster to read, and also it keeps it down to a smaller file size. So that was exciting technical stuff, but
Well, it makes it, I understand, I know enough to understand what you're saying. It's all about speeding, improving quality.
right, exactly. So. Yeah, we
I
didn't.
just noticed that this thing has to go in first.
Oh, I see.
This goes in first, and then we put the drive on, and then we put the other thing on top of the drive.
Got it.
So this goes like this. So I have to, it's double-sided, so this is going to stick on this side.
Yeah, because you get double stick tape.
And what's that piece right there?
This is the heat sink, but it's tricky because I really need to put this on here first. A lot of times you see what I'll do is I'll touch it because I don't want any static to have effect.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Then you can screw that down.
Do we need to pull that spacer off for now, or
I think so.
okay?
This is live.
Mm-hmm.
So we've never touched this motherboard before, so trying to figure it out as we go. So no, it needs that spacer.
Does need a spacer.
I think it does, because otherwise, I'm just being careful that what is it going to be resting on underneath there.
Right.
I'm pretty sure it needs that spacer. You can look at that thing there. I don't think I'm doing it right.
This is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of these parts are standardized at this point. There's like motherboards, they're always going to do it, have things fit a certain way, and boxes are going to be built for different motherboards to be able to fit them.
Right.
But there's still some level of some custom work that you're doing there when you're putting so many different parts from so many different brands together.
Right.
And to make one build off of that, it's not all from the same company.
Right. And so yeah, there are those standard standard measurements. Like for instance, the size of this motherboard is an ATX, so that you know when you're looking for a case that's going to fit, you're going to need an ATX at least. You know, that goes up to ATX-E. Then you have these slots that we're plugging into with our new hard drives, and those are M.2 slots, and so of course, like that's always going to be the same. There are multiple types of M.2. This one is M.2 with the protocol NVMe, and so I believe that has an effect on these pins right here on the right. That little gap right there is what NVMe is always going to have. So if you can easily, very easily, mix up what you can mix up just by dropping a letter, you know, what's going to be compatible. And so that's one of the things we were checking over and over again, just to make sure that everybody's going to play nice.
Okay, good. I think I got this one right.
Okay.
There we go. So that one goes there. And then it's going to go in place.
Let me ask you a question. I'm assuming that you could buy this equipment already put together in some shape or form.
Oh.
What's the advantage of what y'all are doing in terms of custom building a unit?
Price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a lot less expensive?
Yes.
And it's
But can
really-
it, because you're customizing it to your use?
We
doesn't-
found one that we thought would work, but it didn't have the graphics card that we wanted.
right. And
And
another
so-
one we found that we wanted that didn't have the CPU that we wanted.
Right.
So we were really able to like custom tailor it to what exactly we need.
So this will be really better than something that you can buy off the shelf, so to speak,
right.
especially for your purpose.
For the price. Yeah. We
But
probably
not only in
saved.
price, but in performance.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's see. That's a single-sided.
It's double-sided. I
It's
checked.
double-sided. Okay.
It's real tight, though, on the sides. See, I'm going to have to slide this thing in. Oh, no, it slides on the inside. So it's going to be
It
perfect.
slides right down in there and
Yeah.
snaps in those little snappers.
And you have the.
The screws, yeah, right
Okay.
there. And I pulled off the tape. Yep.
Okay.
Pulled off the tape.
Get
Putting it
out of
in.
y'all's way.
Alrighty, John. We'll see you.
This should be running in about an hour.
Looks good here. Yeah. I laugh because it's true.
It should be.
Okay.
Can I get to those? Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, this one's the awkward one right here, right above the
Yeah.
chipset. Let's see. This came with a tiny screwdriver.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, I was keeping that to myself.
Oh,
See. Okay. What was that we were saying earlier about tweezers?
yeah. It's not magnetized, is it?
Yeah, it's trying. Come on, baby. All right. Okay. getting a bite. No bite. There we go.
This is also a fishing show.
Yeah. There we go. No bite.
That's what I expect to hear.
There we go.
I get it. No bite.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Okay, let's see if I can get a bite. I got a bite.
Yeah. That's how fishers talk.
Yeah.
I thought you said that's how fishes talk.
That's how fishers talk, yeah.
Got a bite.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
All right.
It's in a little angle,
yeah.
but it's okay. It's look.
Hold up.
Okay, so now
Man.
let's.
I really don't think there's ever going to be room for a PCI slot right there.
No, it's very tight. This
Yeah.
one maybe
Yeah.
could fit something, but that one's not going to be able to. So that's going to have to be where the graphics card sits.
Right. That's a shame because this is supposed to be the second fastest. This one that we have preserved right here is a 4x4 PCI 4x4. So I believe that these are each less fast than the next,
Okay.
or more fast than the next.
Okay, let's drop that processor in there.
All righty. This is the highest risk part of the build.
Yeah, yeah, it is. We need to make sure we understand how it's going to build up to
Yeah.
our heatsink.
Right. So the pump, what the pump's going to do is it has, where I'm personally am used to having the 4 screws on either side. Not so much with the pump. It's going to actually have 2 little latches basically that come down around this right here.
These are the hooks for the latches? Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, this is the...
That's a lot of packaging.
It used to be that this was always the highest ticket item.
Yeah.
And now it's not because graphics cards are by far, half of this build is the graphics card.
And again, it's not that the technology is getting better. It's just that it's getting
Expensive.
Higher demand.
Or
Yeah.
scalped, yeah. Okay. So here's what I'm seeing. Seeing these little plastic stoppers here. So this is up and down. This is that axis.
And then there's going to be a corner.
Here's a gold corner right
Okay,
here.
there it is. Yeah.
And that's going to go. Yeah.
You said this was the highest risk part. Is that because there's a lot of little prongs that can be broken, or you
A
have to
lot of
fit it?
prongs that can be broken. You can misapply the thermal compound that's going to go right here on top of the processor.
Little cut
and-
there.
Yeah, in between, and right here is where our pump or your cooling unit in general is going to go on top. And it's like, like we were saying before, it's pulling all the heat out and going into the water that the water is going through the pump. It's not contacting any of the electronics.
It's not spraying
I think the,
Right.
water.
the only rectangle is right here on this side.
Yeah. This one seems, let's see. So that's the gold corner right there. So this one's an odd one out. So it has, no, you're right. I see what you're saying. It's got to
The
be that
rectangle,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's got to be that way.
Yeah. Is that the gold corner? Yeah, so it's there.
Okay. Does that feel right
Yeah.
side up to you?
That was good.
Okay.
Let's see. These are great. I always love feeling these things. I like handling more when we've done with the computer and it's no longer at risk.
Right.
But here we go.
Okay. This is the part that was
There it is.
the size of a room
Yeah.
30 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. So now we push this thing down.
Mm-hmm.
It locks it in place.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful. Okay. So,
RAM.
RAM. RAM.
RAM. Or memory.
Right. Random access memory. So this is your temporary storage. Basically, you tell your computer to open a file, it pulls it from your hard drive, and it puts it right here.
Most computers, most laptops are going to be running, for the standard business type person, they're going to be running like 8 gigs of RAM. pricier laptops are going to be running 16 gigs.
Gamers, you're going to be running about 32 to make it in today's world.
Yeah.
And this is
64.
64.
So each one of these is, what? Are they all 16s?
These are all 16s, correct?
16s. 16s each.
And how many are there?
Four.
Yep. So
And they can only fit in one way because there's a distance.
let me open these.
Yeah. Just that side opens.
Okay. Yeah, so it looks like I think you're missing the socket. You need to push back with your
Yeah,
left
you're
hand.
right.
Yeah, there we go.
I should have my glasses on. Here, I do need to open up these.
Okay.
I thought that they didn't move. No, these don't move. I was just missing it again. There we go. Okay.
If we weren't doing all four of the exact same RAM stick, it would be important what order or what slots these took up. But since we're using all four slots of the RAM, we're just throwing them in there.
And when you push them down in there, you don't want to force them. You want to make sure you're going in the right groove. And you'll notice that they snap into place.
Yeah, we can show off the snap, I think, on this next one. So, maybe if we, just like that. All right, so these are the plastic guards that we're messing with over here. And so we open those up, and then once we get it into the slot, nice and neat, we're just gonna go straight down. Maybe. Straight down. There we go. And once it gets a snug fit, it's just gonna snap into place. Oh, no one to force it.
Yeah. I always go underneath so I can put.
No, that's smart.
There we go,
There we go.
right there. Okay.
One more.
Okay, so far what we've done is we've installed the system drive, the work drive, both are in NVMe, and we've installed the microprocessor. And now we're applying the last few RAM cards. There you go.
There we go.
Check that. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
You want to make sure these are all in really good. If they're not in there right, then you'll get an error when you start trying to boot up the computer. So really, we could, if we need to, we can put our fasteners on here before we mount it into the case.
Well, we would, but
Oh, what's this for?
oh, that is for style. It just looked good as part of the
Yeah.
table spread, the layout. So we just threw it in there.
There's the stickers. I like to keep these. I
Yeah.
like to actually use them.
Yeah, I've been setting them aside.
Here's the Ryzen sticker.
Yeah, there it is. There we go.
I want to keep those.
Put that there. Okay. So this is an all-in-one cooler. So the fans. So really, the next thing we would do with this is actually install the radiator and the fans into the case.
Okay, so we probably need to make some room to start getting the case configured.
Yeah, because all right. So we have everything seated on the motherboard that we're going to on the outside. So we can move into the case. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's
Okay.
the radiator and the pump in.
I'm gonna move this over here.
Great. How you doing over there, Dom?
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I am closely watching the monitors I'm pressing the buttons.
Yeah.
I'm hoping none of your drinks spill
Yeah.
over there. And it's great.
Yeah.
Check that out.
There is our mid-size tower. Oh yeah, we were saving that for the stream.
Yep.
I hope you got that now.
Oh, I got it.
You got it. Okay. Three fans. So a lot of RGB in this build.
RGB as in color.
Yeah, red, green, blue. The RAM has lights in it. The CPU cooler, these fans right here, they have lights in them. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it does make your machine go faster. It's a proven fact. So,
It's all about the lighting.
yeah. We have flame stickers still in the metal. I didn't tell Albert about that, but
Yeah.
Well, it's a proven fact that technology feels when it's loved. Just like singing to houseplants
Right.
helps them grow better. The
Exactly.
same thing with computers. If you love your computer, it will love you back.
yeah. All right, set that aside. So much packaging. Okay. So one thing we need to figure out is if this case, oh, the door comes all the way off, good.
Yeah.
We need to figure out if we need to remove this radiator
believe
cage.
we do.
Okay.
And there's some big, let's see, how does that come off?
Clips? Is that a clip I'm feeling?
Yeah, I think it is, but I don't see how that comes off yet.
I saw an instruction, a whole instruction on this matter. Get that close to the mic. How's that?
You know what? That doesn't come off. This top part comes off.
I see.
This cap comes off.
Okay.
And they are clips. So let me
They are
stand this back up.
Okay. Oh,
Hang on. How does that come loose?
that one's loose.
It's not tightened in the front here, is it? No.
No, something's catching up there though.
Yeah. Looks like there's a screw right there. No, it's not. Sure feel like it's catching.
Get a light?
Oh, I think there's some screws underneath here that we need to loosen first.
Okay.
Let's see. Sure can't see it. And this card right here, it's not mounted to the top.
Right, yeah, that should lift off around there.
Yeah. Let's try that again.
Okay. Is there a clip on this side?
Squeeze that thing. Did you find it?
It's squeezed. It's
Okay.
through there.
Yeah.
More light. We tried to set up the cameras in the most, in the best way possible.
You mean like with the best angles?
Yeah.
Able to catch everything.
Yeah, but
Like we're seeing most of it. I mean, you got a pretty deep crevice. It looks like you're working with there.
yeah.
I've had it on camera 4 this whole time, so
Yeah.
that's this camera. Cut.
And take the face off.
All right, so popping this off.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
All right.
Look at the fan action.
This is going to be completely covered in fans.
Yeah. Okay, now I can probably see this better. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Okay. There's our case.
Yep.
Now let's see how that thing fits.
Yeah, so that probably is still going to mount on the inside of that. So,
Inside here, right in there.
right. And I'm seeing,
Yeah, they're lining up good.
yeah. Okay. So I'm holding on to this pump. Let me set it somewhere.
Okay.
The box is a little off camera.
Is it?
What's that? What box? The case?
Yeah.
Okay. We
Here,
can
I'll
move that.
scoot
That's
it over.
fine. Yeah.
Move this thing here.
That's our mount. Okay. I was looking for screws. That's going to be in here.
I'm gonna spin it around so you can see
Oh
the
yeah.
inside of it. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm holding this radiator. This is the radiator, and this is what's going to be stuck to the back of the microchip, the CPU. It'll be on the motherboard right in here. And this thing, this radiator, just like your car radiator, is going to be mounted on the underside of this here. And then there's going to be fans that are blowing in, right? Yeah,
The fans
through the
are
radiator.
intakes, yeah.
Yeah, to keep the radiator cool. So we're going to mount this thing right up in here.
Yep.
He's looking for the screws.
I got.
We didn't pre-plan this, so we're actually building it live.
Yeah. So, if we get to the point where it's like, well, we reached a stopping point, there could be any number of reasons.
Yeah.
For me personally, it would be because I'm
Hungry?
I'm hungry, yeah. Or I've made a huge mistake that the cameras couldn't see, and I have to tell Albert.
Yeah. We've ordered something wrong.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be probably these short ones.
Yeah.
Does it show on the label?
This isn't the case I'm looking for. I just had it a second ago.
The instructions?
Yeah, here it is. Nope, that's warranty guide. I don't need that. I don't need a safety guide. How dangerous could it be? Here it is. Okay. All right, so we're doing an AMD. Okay, yeah, so those aren't labeled, are they?
Well, they're identified on here.
Okay.
But they're not labeled.
Yeah, so we have K and L. So yeah, the short ones in the washers. We need 12 of the short screws, 24 of the washers.
Okay. Three, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Mm-hmm.
How do the washers work?
The washers are going to be going up top with the screws.
Why 24?
That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. Because it's not supposed to do it on the long screws.
And they're only putting one single one. They're not putting double.
That's what I'm seeing.
Okay. I'm going to start preparing these.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they go on the radiator part, you know, a washer up on top of here and a washer underneath. Maybe.
Oh,
But it doesn't show that in the diagram.
right.
And sure enough, as soon as we do that, we'll find.
Oh, we got a
later on.
comment. I just now noticed it on the screen. They said AMD or Intel. What GPU are y'all going with? From Angry Gnome.
Hello, Angry Gnome. AMD. And we haven't talked about the GPU much yet. We complained about it, about getting it. But no, it's RTX 3080 Ti is our GPU.
Yeah, we haven't opened the graphics card box yet,
Yeah.
so we don't know what's inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we ordered anyway.
Yeah.
Again, this is live, so we're kind of hoping that everything we ordered is here, and we're putting it together.
Yeah, so far there's only been one item, right, that we had an issue with when we ordered it. The
Yeah.
cooling
Yeah.
unit.
We thought there was with the graphics card, but that was
Right, that was a false alarm.
yeah. I really don't know where the
That other set of washers go.
yeah. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't know about you.
You always have spare parts.
Yeah.
That's the
It's just the
excuse.
it's just the instructions don't always call for them.
Yeah. Those are the parts you stick in the glove compartment, and you just ignore them when the customer comes to pick up their car.
Yeah. It's a bonus. We let you keep them.
You know what? Didn't someone say something about the threads on this graphics card? They're sensitive.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very
Yeah,
sensitive.
you know what? Because when I started tightening it, I noticed it. Oh no, this one's working right. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll hold that. I'll do
Okay.
the support here. We're not lined up right here though.
Oh,
I wouldn't
you know
tighten
what?
this
Let me
up.
move this one over,
Yeah,
like
wouldn't-
that one is.
Yeah. I wouldn't tighten these up all the way just
Okay,
yet.
come on over this way.
All right.
A
I'm
bit more, right there.
lined up there.
Up higher on my side. There you go.
I'm looking lined
Okay.
up here.
Yeah, I'm not going to tighten them down, but I remember reading something about somebody saying that they're very sensitive, so don't over tighten.
Yeah, on the radiator specifically. You said graphics card a second ago, but
Oh, did I?
yeah. So that's
Always looking for that one opportunity every day to
Yeah.
correct me.
yep. Gotta.
One opportunity?
One opportunity.
There's Dom's just there. Okay, that went in pretty good, finger tight.
Some days I just throw one out as a courtesy.
Yeah. I see that and I appreciate it. Have a very.
There's another package just
There's
came
another
in.
package. Maybe that was the graphics card. Maybe that's a bomb.
Yeah, it's a Chinese bomb.
Oh, we lost the light.
The one behind you?
Yep.
How bad are we affected?
I can't see anything now.
Yeah.
Is it battery?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There's a replacement, but if it's
That light is a. What kind of light is that? It's a
that's the aperture. I don't remember the model for them. They've
little bitty accessory lights.
yeah, they're really good for small touches.
Yeah,
inside of the
background
light.
scenes and such.
Yeah.
And they're not meant to be running the whole time. This also has a heat sink on the back of it. What I'll do is I'll slip out and go grab another one.
Yeah.
Nice product by Aperture.
Okay. Now is my chance to break something.
Very hot.
Yeah.
Speaking of very hot, my one of my kids, whenever they're talking about something being really hot or really cold or something, Archer, my youngest, he'll say, "That's big hot."
That's big hot.
And so that's the new way we talk about things in our house.
Yeah.
Big hot.
That's big hot.
Cold.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Pretty hip.
Okay, we're back up with the lighting.
Okay.
Okay, this one needs to go down.
Now I wonder. Maybe it did need washers on both sides. I don't know. What do you think?
You think so?
Does it feel? No, it feels snug.
I don't think so.
Yeah. This doesn't seem like it's
I'm not convinced.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like it's going to make or break the build. What do you think, Angry Gnome? Help me out.
I think Angry Gnome had to go back to his hovel.
No.
He doesn't have internet.
Yeah.
His hovel, so
Yeah.
he was satellite logging in.
Starlink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's why he's an Angry Gnome.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, they're just snug.
Just snug.
I torqued them to about 2 pounds.
2 pounds. Okay.
Okay.
So these need to be pulling air down.
Yeah.
So there should be an arrow indicating
Yeah.
the spin direction or the
There's
airflow
actually
direction.
a known industry thought of how that works.
Really?
And I don't remember what it is.
Okay.
This is a very critical piece of
Yeah.
the
It
puzzle
is
here.
very important to know.
I'm guessing
Okay, here we go.
this way. Logo side.
You could try and wait. No, that wouldn't work.
It said there's an arrow.